Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. And I think moan is the wrong word because of this topic. In this one I want to talk about the unfortunate passing of Graham Thorpe, the English cricketer, and the circumstances around it. Unfortunately, passed away about a week ago, and the details and reasons for it are now becoming public. And the Sky News have reported on it, as have many others, and I'll use their story as reference, and then I'll talk about the subject once I've read out their report on it. So their headline is Graham Thorpe, former England cricketer, died after being struck by train, inquest here. Thorpe's wife and daughter had earlier revealed that the former cricketer, considered one of the finest batters of his generation, had taken his own life after suffering from major depression and anxiety. Former England cricketer Graham Thorpe died after being struck by a train at a railway station in Surrey. The opening of an inquest into his death has heard. His wife Amanda and daughter Kitty had earlier told the Times the 55-year-old took his own life on the 4th of August after suffering from major depression and anxiety. Coroner Simon Wickens said Thorpe had died from traumatic injuries after he was struck by a train at around 8:30 a.m. Speaking at Surrey Coroner's Court in Woking, Mr Wickens named the medical cause of death as multiple injuries. In her interview in the Times, Ms Thorpe revealed her husband previously made a serious attempt on his life in May 2022, which had resulted in a prolonged stay in intensive care. She said Thorpe was renowned as someone who was very mentally strong on the field, but added mental illness is a real disease and can affect anyone. Mrs Thorpe said despite having a wife and 2 daughters whom he loved and who loved him, he did not get better. He was so unwell in recent times, and he really did believe that we'd be better off without him. And we are devastated that he acted on that and took his own life. Thorpe was regarded as one of the finest batters of his generation and played 100 test matches for England. The counter-attacking left-handed batsman scored 16 test match centuries and featured 82 times for the one-day international side, as well as enjoying a 17-year career with Surrey. He captained England on 3 occasions and served in various coaching roles for his country between, and please listen to the dates, 2010 and 2022. During the opening of the inquest into his death today, the coroner offered his sincere condolences, not just to Thorpe's family, but to all those touched by his life and career. Mr Wickens had previously released Thorpe's body to his family after a post-mortem was undertaken. He confirmed the body was identified by way of fingertip comparison from an item at the former cricketer's last known address. A date for Thorpe's full inquest will be fixed at a later time. Tributes flooded in for one of the nation's best test players after England and Wales Cricket Board announced on August the 5th that he had died. The coroner received a referral from British Transport Police. Charities have praised Thorpe's wife and daughter for being open about what happened, with the chief executive of the Samaritans saying it is really important to have honest conversations about suicide. Julie Bentley, talking openly can help to break the stigma surrounding the subject and can encourage people who are struggling to get vital support they need. Current Test players Ben Stokes, Joe Root and Ben Duckett hailed Mr Thorpe after the news of his death emerged, while retired England bowler Stuart Broad described him as a wonderful person. What a sad story, but not uncommon, and far more common than people probably realise. I reiterate the words of Samaritans praising his wife and family for talking about this, because I can only imagine the horror that they faced over the last 9 days. Losing a loved one for any circumstances must be, and is, we've all had to deal with it. It must be absolutely horrific. but the circumstances surrounding a guy that's 55 that just shouldn't be dead must multiply that grief. They've found a way of discussing this, which must be quite difficult. I think a lot of people where a close relative's end has been suicide, there's stigma attached to that as well, that a lot of people wouldn't want to talk about it. So I totally can't doff my cap and salute them anymore. It's just a great thing that they're doing at a time that's so tough for them. We all, I would imagine, have stories of people who have lost their life to a disease called depression. And I can talk through personal experience. What she said there caught me. She was talking about his feelings of the world would be a better place without him. I can understand that. I've been in that place myself previously, a long time ago. And it scared me when I came out the other end as to how your head can actually believe that to be true. This man, like I had previously, convinced himself that the world would be a better place without him. And it doesn't matter how bad world seems to you when you suffer depression. It's simply not as bad when you stand on the outside and look in, and that's the difficult bit. And I think, reading between the lines, and I'm not wanting to really guess, but I said, listen to this guy was coaching up until 2022, and then sometime just after that, he had his first, and maybe not only, issue with suicide, where he attempted so much and got so close that he ended up in intensive care. And then obviously it's got too much from one day, and it would appear he's went to his train station and enough was enough. And the bizarre thing is, it might have took the easiest and simplest of things, those sliding doors moments that people talk about, to actually save his life. Could have been anything. And we are responsible for our own life more than anybody else. I know that. However, I guarantee everyone who watches this video will know someone whose head is in the same place as thoughts. I guarantee you that. You just might not know. I'm fortunate that I've got a small circle of people who sometimes see me getting a wee bit maybe distracted, detached, and think, wonder if the big man's all right. I've got 2 or 3 people that I can see signs in because I know their previous past, and I think there's a wee sign there, and I maybe give them a wee phone. And sometimes that's enough. And this is a thing. Suicide touches every level of society. It also touches both sexes, but unfortunately and unarguably, it affects men far more than it does women. I don't know why I'm not that clever. I just know that that's factual. And guys, women seem to have, normally, I would suggest, slightly wider groups of friends and can probably, discuss things easier. And I know through personal experience that even talking about it, breaking the seal on your lips that first time can help, and help a lot. Like someone taking a rucksack of bricks off your back instantly. You start talking to people and they actually get what you're saying. Another thing on that, I would say that just be careful if you're the happiest person in the world, you've never had any problems with depression, and someone comes to you and there might be a cry out for help. It could be, because this happened to me when I had a cry for help a long time ago. And I was not just ignored, I was laughed at. Don't be so stupid. It's just in your head. Thankfully, I found a second person who was a doctor who did listen to me, and my life changed as quickly as that. So if you are ever spoken to by a pal and you think, well, that's a bit weird, why are you talking about your feelings? You don't normally do that. Be very, very careful how you react to them, because it's going to be a sliding doors moment. And if somebody had just, could have been anything, spoke to that guy in the car park, passed him in the car park on the way to the train station. Talked to him about the football. I've seen photos of him previously with his Chelsea stuff, and him and his two lovely daughters with their Chelsea strips on. Just talking about something like that could actually be enough to save somebody's life. Depression is a disease. It's a horrific disease. And God bless anybody who's afflicted with it, and stay safe. I'll not do my usual end of the video where I ask people if they enjoyed the video to give it a thumbs up. That's a bit odd because of this situation. But if anybody, I'll put the phone number to Samaritans at the bottom of the description. And please, if you're suffering, listen to me. Talk to anybody. If you want to look me up on Twitter, send me a direct message. I'll be straight back at you. Believe me, I don't care who you are. You could be the biggest stranger in the world. You could be the best pal. I just don't know who's got problems. Anybody hasn't got anybody they can phone. They don't want to phone the Samaritans. Go onto Twitter. My handle's down at the bottom there. And send me a direct message. And I'll get right back to you. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.